Hi, folks. Happy Friday, one and all. I thought that maybe we could have a bit of fun today, and I'm just going to show you. I've made my bit of money here. Um, so I thought maybe we could just I could show you what it looks like to be in the trading room. And hold on one second. And how I go about thinking about the market intraday, um, what kind of what you might be able to expect if you were in the trading room, or what you should expect from, frankly, any trading room, whether you choose to participate in mine or another one. Because quiet as it's kept, this is a viable approach for a lot of people, and um, it's not just my way that works. There are a number of ways that work. I would never pretend I'm the only person who has the golden ticket and the only person who can show you how this works, and so on and so forth. But I am the person that you're listening to now. So so I thought maybe we could spend some time kind of watching the market here, and I will tell you what I'm thinking, and I will pause it intermittently to just to alleviate some tedium. But I also wanted to show you that you can make money very, very quickly. You can lose money quickly, but that's part of my job, is to help you guard against that, and focus on actually making money and doing a good job, and filling your coffers, so to speak, um, um, in a way that allows you to do this. And then, I mean, at this point, if I had another passion, I could be so engaged at this point. Um, if I had another passion beyond teaching, I could be so engaged at this point. I could, um, shut it down for the day. I could leave my charts up and just kind of watch, because there's no limit to the amount of experience that you can gain, just from watching the market trade, and kind of assessing the market structure in an ongoing way, even when you don't have money on the line or whatever the case may be. So you wouldn't be losing anything by doing that, and watching it over the course of the day. Or you could shut it down. And I have some folks who are realtors, and they proceed with their day, right? They do this in part to help them prepare for retirement, but also to help smooth out the kind of lumpy orientation that any consulting slash project slash cyclical work will have. I have worked with professional athletes who take time to they have kind of disjointed time, right? Some of them were able to come in the morning. Sometimes they were able to come in the afternoon, and really just get some experience. And by the way, um, uh, following the lead of someone who knows what they're doing, they were also able to put money in their pocket at the same time. So that's really what this is all about. I'll show you guys where I'm currently positioned. I mean, if you watched any of my videos, it's not a hard thing for you guys to guess that I am currently short. It is the remainder of um, uh, an initial bigger position. So I've already collected. I've taken most of my chips off the table, and I'm quite happy to have done that. Um, so at this point, I'm just assessing whether or not I want to close the balance of it, or if I want to let it come up and stop me out. And it'll be a plus 41 tick trade, right? Am I willing to give up these additional ticks, or do I, in order to perhaps take advantage of what could be an additional drop, or am I willing, or do I want to take it off here? What do I want to do right now? I'm perfectly happy to see if this will run, just because of how this candle set up, right? The strength or the aggression with which this candle came down makes me think that we could extend a bit, right? I don't know that. My crystal ball, I always leave at home. I use that with my family. I don't use that with my work. But there's a chance. Now, what's the counter argument, right? I'm trained as a lawyer, so by definition, I'm looking for the counter argument. The counter argument here is the daily pivot is here, right? And there will be a lot of people who pay attention to this level and potentially buy it, right? And potentially drive it back to the upside. I don't know. And it's not my job to know for certain. It's my job to take advantage of opportunity as it presents, and do it in a risk prudent way, right? There's a video to that effect on the side if you guys recall. So as of right now, I'm sitting here. If we extend a bit more down here, I would be very likely to close the trade. I don't want to be accused of or guilty of being greedy, right? It looks like I'm really not going to get that chance. It's probably going to bounce back up to this 26 area before it makes a decision as to whether or not it's going to continue higher or ultimately drop off or go sideways, right? Those are the three. 33, 33, 33, right? It could do any one of those things on any day, right? So I'm going to pause you here for a second. I've already been talking for 7 minutes, believe it or not. I'm going to pause you here for a second, let this resolve, and then go from there. Okay, so we're getting that bounce. I'm thinking this is going to take out that 26 level. The buyers are coming in pretty strong here, right? They're responding to in my opinion, they're responding to the daily pivot. So my guess is that we're going to, take out that 26 level, which is where I had the stop sitting. I'm okay with that, right? It's still a very strong trade. And I'm certainly okay with that. What I should do, actually, is put it a tick above 20. Actually, my stop should be up at 27 3/4, right? Because if it breaches that, then like it's turned course. So I guess maybe I'll just move my stop. This is one of the few times that you guys will hear me say it's okay to do this, but it's because that's where my stop should have been in the first place, right? Actually, you know what? I'm not going to break that rule. I'm going to put my stop right back where it was. But I'm going to note in my notes that it was a mistake to have my stop here, right? What I should have done was traded the position smaller from the outset, even if I wanted to enter at 2025 and a half, and had my stop up here, right? Because that's the proper place. That's the that's where the market, at least for the time being, has made a decision, right? Because it extended beyond the reach of this level right here. Okay, but I'm going to leave my stop where it is because I don't want to break my rule. I don't want to induce you to break that kind of rule. And look, the truth of the matter is the trade is in profit, right? And I don't want to give up that much, right? Because another rule that's going to come into play is more than 3 ticks on a net basis per contract, you're done. Like you can't engage, right? And if I move my stop way up here, it would take me away from that. So it's not worth. It would be breaking even an even bigger rule, right? So leaving the stop there, get stopped out. Not only is that trade stopped out, but also done for the day, right? Would have to be done for the day, right? And this is modeled based on five contracts, right? If it were 20 contracts, I could, if my available lot size today were 20 contracts, I could go back in. Hopefully I would do it in a prudent manner and take a setup and look to get myself, to something that looks more like 60-80. But I went about this by using 5 contracts, and I've scaled out of enough to certainly take care of having my +3 per nominal contract. So there's no reason for me to do anything else, right? And I have to stick to the rules. So that's where we stand. I'm starting to break down a bit here. Want to see where this goes. I'm going to pause it again. Already this video is 11 minutes long, so I'm not going to extend it much more, but I'm going to pause this for a second, see where we end up, and I'm going to come back when either I'm about to close the trade or I'm about to be stopped out. Okay, so lower time frames have convinced me that we are going to get stopped out up here. I have to be okay with that. I am okay with that. And there's not that much, there's just not that much that I can do about it, right? I'm going to stick with my parameters as such. I had kind of said to myself that if we could get down to +5 points, right, which would be 20 ticks, if we could get down to +5 points, I was just going to exit the trade. Now, the alternative would have been for me to like trail a stop, behind a 15-minute candle high, right? But in my mind, 20 plus that 43, 63 ticks on a fairly small risk trade what is more than enough, and would basically have almost doubled, well, actually would have doubled my daily goal. So I'm okay with exiting it here. Starting to be a little more negative here, but I'm not sure if it's going to get there. Now, one thing that I will do here is, this is the 15-minute chart, and the high of this most recent 15-minute bar is, as you can see here, is 25.25, right? I'm short from a half, right? So what I will do is move my stop from 26 down to 25.5, right? I moved it closer. I didn't move it further away. I didn't give it more room. I moved it closer. So I moved my stop down to 25.5. So now I'll keep, that additional 2 ticks if I get stopped out. And this is an either or proposition. Either it's going to go down here and get my profit target, or it's going to stop me out. Those are the 2 choices, right? I'm not going to change either one of these things, and we'll just have to see what happens. I'm going to pause it again because I didn't get stopped out yet like I thought I was going to, and I'll be back. Okay, here we go with the stop. Again, it looks like we're pretty certain to get stopped out here, right? I think we're going to get through the high of this previous bar. Doesn't mean that the structure has changed overall, right? We're still in a very negative structure here. It just means that the buyers are becoming a bit more aggressive. You can see them, right? They're becoming a bit more aggressive here, and they're trying to hold this daily pivot, right? Whether or not they will, I mean, on the lower time frames, it looks again like they are going to push up through certainly the high of this candle. But it remains to be seen. They haven't done it yet, and now they're losing their resolve a little bit. But one thing that I want you guys to notice is, when you're watching the price action, you can literally see the behavior, right? You can see it. You can see how price is jumping here. You can see, kind of the battle going on between buyers and sellers, and each of them trying to get the upper hand. Who's more aggressive right now? The sellers at that moment were just a little bit more aggressive, right? That's why price was falling a bit, right? The buyers have now come back and maybe they reloaded and they're ready to go again and they're ready to try to push this thing higher, right? So they become more aggressive, right? You can literally see the behavior. You can see it manifest as you watch the chart and the price move, right? See, the buyers are becoming more aggressive, even more aggressive. Here they come, right? The sellers are stepping away, letting them take it a bit higher, right? Here we go. I think we're going to get 25.5 this time, right? You can see their behavior in the movement of the price, right? Again, the overall structure still commands that you be, if anything, short, right? But prudence dictates that you cover here if it can get back to 25.5, and if it falls, then it falls, right? But we'll just have to see. Here we go. I'm literally trying to just talk until this thing stops me out, right? But it keeps playing with me quite a bit. So I'm going to pause it again since we've dropped back a little bit, and as we come closer, maybe we'll fire through and I might miss it, but I'm going to try to come back the moment that I'm about to get stopped out. Okay, here it comes this time. I think it's going to definitely get it. There you go. And it looks like see, I just saved myself a bit. I think it's going to trade 26 here in a second, maybe, right? But now the situation would be such that if I didn't have my daily goal already, I would be looking for, okay, so what is the next trade, right? I would be looking for, I would be looking for the next setup, right? And it looks like we're going to get it. Ooh, and we didn't get 26. I may live to regret that. But that's the essence of it, right? This would be the constant back and this would be the constant back and forth that you would experience in my trading room, right? Kind of me kind of guiding you, telling you, you should already be in a position at this point, and you certainly shouldn't be entering a short just because we popped back up here. We did get 26. Just because we popped back up here, right? You would need a setup, right? It took me a long time to get there myself. So my guess would be that I would be hastening your development by helping you to only trade when the odds are in your favor, and obviously hastening the amount of money that you're able to put in your pocket. Okay. So any questions about that? Feel free. Any questions about what you've seen here? Feel free. And barring that, we'll talk to you soon.